Okay, everyone, we are now live, and this is Casey Stubbs, and I'm going to be talking about price action and income and how to use market geometry to find accurate methods and entries to your trades. Just before we get started, we've got a lot of people here. I want to make sure that everyone can hear me. So if you can hear me, just go ahead and type in the chat and just let me know how the sound is coming through today before we get started. And while I'm waiting for that, I just want to thank everyone for jumping on board. I appreciate the turnout and really excited to be working with everyone and to be chatting with everyone. It's really exciting. So that's pretty cool because we got a great method that I want to talk about and some other things. Good, we got some great turnabout. So where's everybody at today? Where's everyone located at? I want to get an idea of where everybody's from and how everybody's doing, just while we filter in, because there's a few people showing up I can see. So we still got some people here, but I'm not going to wait too long because your time is valuable, and I know you came here because I want you want to learn, right? That's why you're here. You want to learn. So we got people from all over the Oregon coast, which is awesome because I go to the Oregon coast every summer. Mexico, Arizona, Sweden, India, UK. Awesome. Excellent. Well, sounds like everybody can hear me, and we got a pretty good turnout. Looks like everybody's here. And so I'm going to go ahead and get started. So the first thing is thank you, everyone, for coming. And my name's Casey, and I've been doing this for quite some time. And I love training and sharing stuff with people. So today we're going to give you some real training and solutions that's going to help you become a winning trader. And I'm going to try to teach you to trade profitably in the shortest amount of time possible. And I've got some really great examples of how that's actually working out for me right now. And before we dive into the presentation, let's go ahead with a short intro. My name's Casey. I'm thankful that you're here. I'm thankful to be here, and I want to teach you how to find accurate entries. And so what I do is I find successful traders, and once I find them, I help the world discover their methods. And one of the traders that we're going to talk about today is Richard K. And I just want to get a little bit of understanding of how many of you guys get Richard K's emails and really enjoy his content. Because I was making the comment the other day that I've made this comment several times to several people. Out of all of the email lists I have that offer training, I personally don't think there's an email out there that's as good as Richard K's newsletter. And if you're not on his newsletter, I'll show you how to get on it at the end of this webinar. But Richard K's newsletter is the real deal. It's literally the best one I've ever seen. Yeah, Fran agrees. And Fran, you and I are in agreement. He's just phenomenal. He's one of the best. And so when I discovered Richard, I really wanted to help get his methods out to the world. And that's where price action and income came from. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about his methods today and what he's doing. And I am actually using his strategies as well because they're just so good. And I'm going to go into some details on that as well. So you can find more about me at my website, caseystubbs.com, or you can follow me on Twitter at Casey Stubbs. I'm a businessman, trader, family man, like to keep everything active online. If you connect with me on Twitter, I'm always there. So would be great for you guys to jump over on one of those platforms and follow me. I'd really appreciate it. And as I already said, this method's from Richard K, Price Action Income, and I've personally been trading Richard's signals, and they're excellent. The thing I like the most about Richard is that he doesn't put out a lot of signals, which is nice, so it's easy to follow. Number two is that the accuracy is fantastic, And then number three, it just doesn't take a lot of time. Great, Gilberto. Thanks for purchasing. We really appreciate it. Okay, so I'm going to be sharing my methods for success and a great system that's been created by a good friend of mine, Richard Kay. I'm going to be focused on bringing amazing traders and educators together to help you guys, right? You guys are traders, and Richard's an educator, and I want to bring you guys together. So my mission is to trade part-time, have fun doing it, and generate income for my family to live life on our terms, run a successful online trading educational company with a healthy stream of additional income, and to help traders master the exponential profits system. So that's my threefold mission right now. And I'm going to introduce market geometry. It's an accurate way to enter the market, and this system finds accurate signals with a very high risk to reward ratio. And one thing I want to mention is that this particular system is a little difficult to master on the front end. But Richard's free service, where you don't even have to pay for anything, is, like I had said before, is phenomenal. And so you're going to get some benefits from this webinar today, but I just want to encourage you, stay on his list and read his emails, because his content is the best there is, hands down. And I, share it with some friends, show other people how to get on Richard's email list. So here's a little rundown of what the system has done for those of you that don't know. Okay, starting at 2018, if we started with a $10,000 account, we've rolled, and actually it's a little bit cut off, but it's rolled all the way to 37,400 right now, which is pretty tremendous 2018 stats. And there's a couple great things about this, but this is what the actual live EPS has done. And when I say EPS, it's the profits system, where Richard actually sends you his trades directly to your email. And he does this every day before you actually start the market and start trading. They usually come in around 6 a.m. Eastern time. So the breakdown on those stats is a 370% return on investment in just 8 months, 57% win rate. Average win is $1,700. The average loss is $629, and the average month is $3,429, which the average win is 3 times bigger than the average loss. And the cool thing about that is it only takes 3 trades a month on average, which is amazing. Everyone says, you got to be a day trader, you got to scalp, you got to be in the market 5 hours a day, But this is literally 4.3 trades a month, which is kind of cool. How many of you, if you could make money with less time, would actually like to do that? And not only that, how many of you would like an extra $3,429 a month on average into your account? Pretty cool, right? I mean, I know I would. So if you're enjoying the presentation so far, just go ahead and share it or press like. It helps us get the word out. We really appreciate it. So anyhow, that's pretty good results. And I'm going to share something now, which is my personal success formula, which is really even more important than a trading strategy, okay? Because this will work in every area of your life, not just in trading. But there's a few things that I do to achieve success, and I'm going to tell you what some of those things are. Number one is I get with great people, right? I don't just try to reinvent the wheel. I don't try to make great discoveries on my own. I'm just not that smart, for one. And I try to get with people that I've already figured out. And that's why I got with Richard, is because Richard's really smart, and he has, he's figured it out. And so I just want to get with guys like that. And the second thing is I make a plan, right? I don't just go blind. And then the third thing is I take action. So the cool thing about taking action is that it really cements your learning. A lot of times when we learn stuff, like if we're in the university and we're studying and we're getting all this information, and our brains are getting huge. They're getting full of information. We're just so smart, and yet we don't actually take action. That information becomes basically worthless and useless. It sits up there, and it just becomes puffed up knowledge that doesn't equal any types of success at all. So whenever I'm learning, because I go to training seminars, I go to masterminds, I go to trading summits, I go to business summits, I go to all of these things all the time. I probably travel about once a month. I go to 12 conferences a year. And every time that I go to one, I'm writing down a list of things that I'm going to do, action steps. Because if I learn something and I don't do anything, then I just wasted my time. And a lot of times I'll go to these training events and I learn like 50 things, right? And my mind is blown. I'm like, oh my goodness, I've learned so much. But really, I can't do everything. So I usually just write a couple action steps, 1 or 2 action steps, and then I do it. So what I would recommend you to do, so you don't want wasted knowledge, right? So you're going to learn some stuff on this webinar. Even if it's just from this slide, you've learned 1 thing, 2 things, 3 things. What I want you to do is to be an action taker and to write down some of the things that you're going to do that you've learned from this training today. Okay, don't just take it in and say, oh, that's great, I'm smarter now. But actually do something that you've learned. And one of the first things I said was, I get with great people. And you've already taken that step by getting with Richard, which is what I've done as well. So that's pretty cool. So whatever you do, you must learn to take action and do things differently if you want to get change in your life. And that's true. Change comes from action, not by doing nothing. And so I'm going to handle all the questions at the end, and so I see a lot of good ones. I'm going to spend as much time as it takes to get answers to all of the questions, so don't worry. I'm going to be here for you, and you can just write them down, and I might ask you questions from time to time. You can just jump out in the chat. That's great because I love interaction, but I'm not going to be able to answer any of the questions until the end just because I'm focusing on presenting. So the first one I'm going to get out of the way, which is gasp. Why am I running a trading business if I make money trading? Well, that's the age-old question, right? Everybody's like, well, you must be a scammer if you're doing this. Well, first of all, Richard is the one that's really doing the trading, and it's not me. I'm just following what Richard is telling me to do, right? I just follow the smart guy. But for one, it's fun to write and to teach. Both Richard and I love helping others. That's kind of our main mission behind the scenes. We love to make money, right? We're smart people. We like to make money, but we love to teach. We love passing it along. And that's just a huge benefit for us to be able to share with others what we've learned and to really help each other out, because that's what life's all about, helping each other out. So also it provides an additional stream of revenue. Everyone knows in order to get extremely well off and not to worry about your finances is you've got to have more than one source of revenue. I mean, if you can do it with just trading. If you want to blow your account up and just make millions and billions out of it, sure. But only a handful of traders can actually accomplish that. The rest of us will just slug it out a little bit on the side, and we just grow our revenue through extra sources of income. And that's really helped me out a lot. So here's an action item. Find out a way to get some additional sources of revenue. Don't just rely on your job, your job. Find something that comes in on the side. It will help you out tremendously. And then save what you made off of that side income and then use it to create another side income. The more of those that you can have, the better. It gets exponentially better. All right, so exponential profits isn't just a course that we put together. It's the way that I think you should. It's the way that Richard thinks, and you should think too. It's about how to look at the markets. So we like to see people get it and to finally have the light bulb go off on when they're making money and when they're learning. So yes, we want to see you guys get to the next level in your trading. And because I only teach what has personally worked for me, I get to do it with complete confidence and excitement. We'll talk about those strategies in a minute. But first, I want to make sure that I don't waste my time. We're going to cover our usual warnings. This is really important, guys. Write this stuff down. While I'm confident in my approach, it will be a breakthrough for any serious trading. This is not an overnight success thing. If you're looking for crazy returns with no time and no effort, you've come to the wrong place. And like I said earlier, I showed you the chart. This is a 370% return on investment in the first year, which is phenomenal. But again, it's not happened overnight. This is 8 months. We've taken the trades, we've taken action, we've done the analysis. This has taken time. And if you're looking for crazy returns with no time and effort, then you've come to the wrong place. We're serious about helping traders turn around their results quickly, but we also live in reality and knows what it takes to learn and practice these strategies and dial in your execution. Again, that's about taking action. Okay, so I see your questions again, and I'll answer them at the end. So thank you for writing those down. All right, now when you know what you're looking for in the markets, these strategies are extremely powerful. And I utilize something called the retail profit window to find medium-term moves that deliver setups like these. Look, this is 1,000% ROI. And one of the things that we looked about in that stats earlier is that this is, on average, it's a 3x win ratio, and it's over 50% win rate. It's not producing a lot of trades, but it produces powerful setups like this with a high accurate. Look at that stop right there. You see that, how tight that is versus the reward? If you can find trades like that, you only actually have to win about 20% of the time to be successful. Pretty powerful system. So here's another one that we did, and Richard specifically. It's gold. You can see that it was a breakout trade. So we have a lot of different methods, but one of them is a breakout, and it was a 458% ROI. So a 458% return on that one specific trade. Look how tight that stop is and how big the risk is. And another gold trade that was 524%. Again, tight stop, big reward. Every single trade that we take with the exponential profit system is like this. And you're going to learn how to trade just like that because Richard shares everything that he knows. All right, now we're not just showing you these to brag. These are not just winning trades. They're the type of trades that have a real impact on your life. When you can do this on a regular basis, you can actually build an account versus choppiness where your account goes up and down or where you start losing money. This type of trading will actually grow your account, as we have shown by the revenue earlier. So I can't tell you how many traders I've met, and I'm talking about I've been doing this for over 10 years. Actually, just 10 years, not quite over. But we've met a lot who they have winning runs, losing runs. They try new strategies. They jump from software to indicator, and it seems to work for a while, and then they just blow it. If you've ever had that experience, you know what it's like. I know I have. I've had a 3,000% return on investment on my account only to lose the whole thing and be totally crushed. And it's amazing that I'm still here, but I just keep on persevering, which is another critical quality that you must possess, which is perseverance. You don't want to give up. If you want to learn to be a trader, you've got to keep on working at it. And so these traders have knowledge of the markets. They understand what they're doing, but they can't get to the point where they compound their profits to build an account. Hitting 400, 600, and 1,000% gains is a real game changer, and it allows you to grow your account aggressively and then reinvest those returns into more high profit opportunities. So that breakthrough is what will allow you to build an account with success. And again, what I was talking about before was not just having the knowledge, but then executing that knowledge and applying it. So you don't need some kind of talent for trading and investing. You don't need a ton of money to begin rapidly to be building your net worth. Our account started this year with a $10,000 balance, and I realize that is a lot, probably more than many of you can get access to, but it's still relatively small in the grand scheme of things. Listen, I don't know why you wanted to be a trader. There's a lot of different reasons. the ability to trade successfully is the ultimate freedom. This is a picture of me and my family who went to Mount Rushmore. You can see the presidents in the back this summer. Every year, I take an entire month off in the summer, and I drive from Pennsylvania all the way to Oregon, across the country, with my 9 kids. My wife was the one that was taking this picture, so all 11 of us get in a minivan, or not a minivan. It's actually a big van, a 12-passenger, and we travel across the country, and we see the nation. And I go visit my family, which is from Oregon. And we do that every year. And having this business and trading has enabled me to be able to do that. I actually can actually work while I'm traveling as well. I look at charts, I can write out emails, I can do those things while I'm traveling. And so my guess is that you're a lot like most of the other traders I meet, and that is that you want to help people out. You want to do things for traders. You want to give and travel and spend time with family. I would imagine that's probably what your goals are too. Most people have similar goals in that respect. But the question is, how do you succeed? How do you start building an account quickly and effectively, even if you've never been profitable sustainably before? Well, you already know the key is to win significantly profitable trades and reinvest those into your account. And when I mean significantly profitable, I mean trades that have a high return, like the ones I showed you earlier. So to do that, you only need to know a few things. First, you need to know if the market is likely to go up or down. And second, you need to know how much the market is likely to go in that direction. All right, so how many people, this is a question section, how many people think that if you knew those two things, you'd really be profitable as a trader? If you knew when the market was going to go up and how much it was going to go up. So go ahead and just chat in the box and say if you think that would make you a profitable trader if you knew those two things. Okay, so we're getting some people here to say yes, and I'm kind of set you guys up, but it's it's actually a kind of a trick question. One huge myth about trading is that even if you know the market is likely to move in a bullish direction and you know where a good target might be, you also need to know how likely the market is to move in the opposite direction and by how much before it goes in your planned direction, because the market is zigging and zagging. So in other words, if a market's likely to go up, and I know this, and it's likely to go up at about 10%, and I know this, I'm in great position. But what if it goes down 5% first before your move? Most traders are out with a loss by the time it goes up the 10% that was expected. And that's one of the things that Richard has helped me fix, is he's shown me how to avoid those little shakeouts by timing accuracy. So how many of you have taken a trade that took you out with a loss and then surged right back in the direction you originally predicted? I don't know about you, that's happened to me so many times, and it's really one of the most frustrating things as a trader. And if it happens a lot, it continually eats up your account, and it discourages you as a person because you were right and yet you were wrong. Just because you're right doesn't always mean you're right. Sometimes you're right and you're wrong, right? You got to be right and right, especially in trading. So it's because most traders aren't taking into account the third element of the market structure, the element that tells us how much room we have in the opposite direction of our intended trade and how it's likely to go there. All of the information you need to make massive winning trades is built into the structure of the market. It's all part of its geometry, as Richard likes to call it. That's not to say you can predict it with 100% accuracy. Of course not. I would never tell you such a thing. But when you understand market structure, you know where the likely market boundaries exist, and you can set up huge profit potential trades that also have a high probability. And just another thing about this, guys, this is a waiting game. When Richard sends out his trades, he tells us when to enter and where to enter, right? And so we don't just go blindly enter the market because something happens. Richard will give us several things that need to happen first in order for it to develop, and that's the kind of the secret for his strategy is being patient and letting he knows what the market's going to do. If it does what he wants, he enters. If it doesn't do what he wants, we stand aside. And so I will just tell you that there's been so many trades that we've stood aside, and my impatience as a trader, I'm like, I want to take this trade. I want to take this trade. I want to take this trade. But Richard's like, no, don't take it. And so we stand aside, and because the structure never develops, and we ended up saving ourselves from a losing trade. That's been one of the huge benefits of following Richard for me. It's been amazing. And that's a formula for success. When you're just trading directionally because you think something's going to go up, you've missed a piece of the puzzle. And that leads to a lot of losing trades. Makes sense? Like, honestly, until I was really working with Richard a lot, that was something that I was missing a good deal. All right, so how do we go about understanding the market structure and measuring these boundaries we can use to make highly profitable trades? Building the complete foundation for doing so would take a little more time than what we have here. My Exponential Profits course does that for you. That course will be available to those that attended this webinar at a discount at the end, and I think you're going to love it. And yes, it is going to be at a big discount. We've never offered this price before, and it's only going to be available to those that stayed at the end of the webinar. What I'd like to do in this webinar is give you the quick and dirty way to find and analyze market structure to improve your trading, regardless of what the markets you like to trade, timeframes you prefer, or strategies you typically use, because this is about structure and price action. Price action is the key. I know you've heard that a lot. Price action is a visual format of how price fluctuates in different views. It's all the same price movements broken down into footprints that we can see on a chart. Keep in mind that anytime you see price action moving, you are seeing a battle of buyers and sellers taking place. The ebb and flow of buyers coming in against sellers, or more sellers coming in against less buyers, or a similar amount of buyers and sellers both making transactions is what creates our market phases. It creates bullish trending phases, bearish trending phases, and consolidation periods, right? And understanding what phase you're in is part of the exponential profit system. And as I had said earlier about the emails being some of the best that I've ever seen, this course is really one of the best that I've ever seen. As a matter of fact, when I first read it, I said, this is a $10,000 course. Many of my other business friends were talking about it and were like, wow, that really is a $10,000 course. Like, this is really one of the best courses there is. So anyhow, so if you can look at an hourly chart like this, it simply means that over this period of time, a few days in total, there were more buyers than there were sellers. It means that over the course of a few months, there were more sellers than buyers. The difference between the daily chart and the hourly chart, right? It's all it means is it's just a battle. It's an auction. And the buyers win if it goes up. The sellers win if it's going down. And if you can take a look at this chart here, you can see that it's been sellers primarily on the daily chart, right? This is a long-term downward price move. Yes, you should and could use multiple time frame analysis to find corresponding trends, but advanced traders can find mirror structure where a 15-minute bullish phase breakout is corresponding with a daily bullish phase and increase their probability and profit on a potential trade. So this is an action point here, guys, that I would really recommend you take a look at. You add a 15-minute and a daily, and you find a level or you find a structure, and that way you can target your entry to be precision on a larger trend. That's how you get a tight entry and you get a very large return on investment. As a matter of fact, I actually did this today on a very nice trade. It was a 15-minute entry on a daily chart, worked out really well. So the power of a daily trend in these cases is supporting your precise entry on a smaller time frame, right? It's multiple time frame analysis, and this is just one of the really key factors that we use in the exponential course. Sometimes you can take a quick 15-minute entry and turn it into a 10 to 1, 20 to 1, or even 50 to 1 reward to risk ratio because the trend continues on that daily charts for weeks to come. Okay, and that is really important in expanding your profits, the big winners. And it takes a little bit of patience, and you got to look at a big trend, and sometimes it's going to come back and stop you out. We have that happen a lot. Or sometimes we'll lock in profit and it'll hit our lock-in, but then it's those times when it keeps on moving and it hits the big winner that really grows your account. And it takes some patience, but working with Richard will really help that. For those of you that have already been in the course, you guys know this. Stacking these phases can be an incredible return on investment opportunity when it's done correctly, but that's a subject for another day. For now, I want you to understand that price movement is simply this back and forth of transactions, and the amount of buying and selling is what creates bullish, bearish, and sideways phases in the markets. So far, that all makes sense, right? Okay, good. Now, if price movement is from transactions, and we know the same phases happen all the time, we always see bearish and bullish and sideways markets forming from these transactions, right? Then shouldn't the outcome produced from these repeating situations also be repetitive in nature? And that's really another key, is that these patterns are repetitive because it's a buying and selling situation. And what happens from there when one team wins, that pattern will develop, and it happens over and over again, right? We can always see who the winner is going to be or who the loser is going to be based on these patterns, and that's where market geometry comes from. And yes, they are. This is where you can get a massive edge in the market, and that's really the main point of this entire webinar. When you understand how to analyze market structure, you'll see the phases that occur over and over. And as a result, you can predict outcomes with a high degree of accuracy. And keep in mind, it's still a prediction, not a guarantee. We can't guarantee anything in the markets because anything can happen. As Mark Douglas, the famous trading psychologist, says, anything can happen, so you want to be ready for that. But while market participants have habits that make them predictive, the majority of participants are still human, meaning they have the choice to do things differently. So anything can happen. Which means we will be wrong some of the time, right? Richard is great, but he does make mistakes. Big X for Richard. He's not perfect. He's a human being, okay? It does happen. However, with the risk to reward potential of these setups, you can actually be wrong a lot and still be doing very well in your account, which is a huge bonus. It's just like in baseball, the great hitters hit 300 and they're wrong 30% of the time, and yet they're still great hitters. That's the same as with great traders. So once you master the approach, you will be right with a high degree of accuracy and the win high reward trades, which is the dynamic system to grow your trading account aggressively into a large account. So let's talk about my favorite pattern. You can identify, forecast, and trade profitably in the way we're talking about today. And this is called the mid-trend corrective pattern that I call the propulsion strategy. Okay, so it looks something like this. Okay, this is a very simple upward trend. Now, you can see that in the middle of the trend, it kind of consolidates. It doesn't go straight up, right? And it's not even a perfect zig and zag. It actually starts to retrace where it may look like a return. But this is a single zigzag correction. So that's the first thing you want to actually look at is the zigzag correction. So these patterns, once you're watching this webinar, go back and write some of this stuff down and then go look at your charts and try to find these. And you'll be amazed you'll actually see them come. So step one is look for a strong trend on whatever time frame you prefer. Step two is look for the consolidation. And once you get to the consolidation, we get to step three, wait to see what happens after the lower high, which is B. And want to know another secret about trading, another huge mistake and a reason so many traders aren't profitable? I'm going to throw this in as a little bonus. They forget to wait, or they just don't have the discipline. Waiting can save you a ton of money and make you a ton of money over your career. And I actually mentioned this earlier, that's one of Richard's huge bonuses is he helps me to wait. He really, really does. So step four is you verify, right? So then there's B, it wasn't a breakout, and then there's another pullback, and then C is the propulsion formula, which is that nice push, and you will verify that. And then step five is to wait for the propulsion. So if you've been paying attention, you're probably thinking that I forgot step 6, which is to set up a target. Our exit strategy is essentially a whole new training in itself that we really don't have time for today. It's really intense and it covers a great deal of the actual course. And we may break into it in another free webinar in the future, or if you're interested in the course, we'll show you how to get to that as well. So the easiest way you can find a target without getting too involved in the strategy, you just click a few timelines up, 3 to 5 time frames, and then you can use the Fibonacci extension as well. 161.8 is a great Fibonacci extension target that I like to use to once you get a breakout. So mastering this one propulsion strategy can make you a wealthy trader on its own. Just that one little setup, that one pattern will really help you. And you know, this will work on any time frame, but obviously we prefer daily time frames because we don't want to trade all of the time, but we like to find an uptrend in a daily and then drop down to a lower time frame to find a tight entry pattern, which is explained fully in the course. So we've covered a lot of information today, and I hope it's extremely valuable to you. I've shared a lot of personal stuff that has helped me, some of my success tips, and then Richard has shared some of his really huge trading bonuses. So I really hope that you guys have been able to take away from something and take action on today. Write some of that information down. This approach takes the guesswork out of trading. And when you understand how to identify these market structures and patterns, you can pinpoint entries and find exponential profit opportunities in any market and in any time frame. I designed the Exponential Profits course to give anyone the tools and foundation to do exactly that. And as part of this special offer we're having, I'm even going to share my personal trade entries with members so they can piggyback all my best trade ideas. So before I get into that, I just want to be extra clear about something. This offer is not for people looking for overnight success, okay? One thing I take very seriously is that my members get the success they want out of my program. That's why I'm including my personal trades and why I make myself available to all of my members. Clients who join with crazy expectations of making millions overnight sets me up for failure and sets up Richard up for failure. So we've designed the course to help you become a profitable trader in the shortest amount of time. And I also have an option that will be including Richard's personal trades so that you can earn profits while you're going through the course. But if you want to become a successful trader, you have to put the time in to get results. No matter what, you have to do that. And with that in mind, do I have permission with you guys to share my offer that I have for you? Is anyone interested in that? Okay, well, great. Thank you so much for those of you that are giving me permission and saying yes. I really appreciate it. And let me get right to why I'm so excited to share this offer. This is a picture of the course layout. And as you can see, it's Richard's complete work as a trader. And I'm going to go in and show you exactly all of the details of this, but it's pretty amazing. In fact, my exponential profits curriculum will do 3 things for you. 1, it will lay the groundwork for how to understand price action. And predicting the market doesn't mean always knowing what will happen next, but you still need more than just great analysis. You need the how to trade it stuff. 2, you get the how to trade it stuff. Exponential profits is not a strategy, it's a system, and there's a very important distinction between the two. A strategy is one set of criteria for how to make a specific trade within a specific situation. And a system is an approach to trading and understanding the markets whereby you can employ a multitude of strategies within that system. A strategy can be really valuable, and frankly, as a businessman, I might be better off selling individual strategies, but I just didn't think it would be right, considering in order to be a full trader, you have to have the complete system, not just strategy. But the system is what we believe in. And so part 2 is broken not just into one set of entry rules and exit rules, it's the guidelines and charting examples for all of the strategies you can employ within the market structure. With this, you will be equipped with an entire arsenal of strategies for every market approach. Once you understand how to position yourself to the flow of market structure, you can use to pull profit from the structure that are limitless. And 3, this is the most important part, really, and that's access to Richard. So remember when I said about getting set up with the right people? Well, Richard's the right people. And I've been extremely fortunate and I've been fortunate to be near Richard and to learn from him, and it's also helped me out tremendously. So we definitely want to share that. Now you have access to someone who's used the same system to achieve the exact same thing you want to achieve. I'm serious about making this work. Richard and I really care about you guys, and our reputation depends on it. And we want people to succeed, and that's why we have put so much work into this. Access to Richard does have a downside, though, and that is that you don't have an excuse. If you have access to Richard, then you don't have excuses for failure anymore. You are responsible to it for yourself. You can't blame someone. So here's how this works. Twice a week, I'll publish my complete forecast in detail. Actually, Richard's doing it daily now because he wanted to really get more people involved. And when you take advantage of this shortcut, you'll be receiving bi-weekly forecasts right away. And again, it's updates pretty much every day. You will even see a past archive of trade calls. You'll get all of the old ones, the ones that we've talked about, so you can see how the system works. And you can even see how the track record has been. You'll get an entire breakdown of exactly how I plan each trade. And I really want to encourage you guys to stick around because I'm going to actually go inside here and show you some of the stuff that you're going to get. It's pretty cool. We've made it as easy as possible for you to steal Richard's best ideas. We'll give you updates on the trades as they progress, and Richard is available for follow-up questions, details, and let me just tell you guys, when you ask Richard a question, he doesn't slack. He goes all out, and he writes an extremely detailed report. Richard is a very thorough person, and he does things to the full extent. So this is a good time to talk about our guarantee. We take all the risk. If you've been following me for any length of time, you know that I've been scammed. As a matter of fact, I just posted a scam video today, how I got taken. If that's a whole nother topic in itself, but it was one of the worst things that has ever happened to me, so I'm sensitive to people being worried about getting taken advantage of. It's really terrible. So we want to make it easy for you to start getting trades right away. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to make sure that we've got a 2x guarantee. There's two components to it. Number one is we're guaranteeing the satisfaction. If everything in this course is not to your 100% satisfaction, just send us an email and we'll refund every penny. No questions asked. Number two, performance. If you don't see incredible gain opportunities within the system, let us know and we'll give you a full refund of your investment. So with no risk, let me tell you what we want to do for you today. Normally the EPS course sells for $297, and the EPS forecast, which is the trade signals, which is Richard's email, is $5,000 a year. So that $5,297 investment gives you the complete foundation for trading the most profitable system that I've ever come across. And so with no risk, let me tell you what I want to do for you today. Normally the course sells for $297 and the forecast sells for $5,000. That $5,000 investment gives you a complete foundation for trading, and it's the most profitable system that I've ever come across, along with specific trades I'm personally taking that consistently yield 400, 600, even 1,000% return. So let me ask you this question. If you had all the tools to build wealth quickly and confidently starting right now, and if you could turn your account into six figures in the shortest amount of time possible, wouldn't that be worth $5,297? Well, as you saw earlier, the system already returned $29,000 in profit in the first 8 months. And September hasn't been tabulated yet, but September's really well also. But my goal isn't to sell this package for the highest price possible. I'm not asking you to invest $5,297 for the EPS course and EPS trade forecasts, or even the $297 I normally charge for just the course. I don't want to tell you about it. I want to show it to you. Remember, I'm a busy guy. I have 5 businesses and have 9 children. Plus, I'm active volunteer in my church. So what this means is that I don't have a lot of time for trading, and all I do is use Richard's system each day and allow him to do all the work. Okay, so I actually want to show you what that looks like. So let's take a look. I'm actually drop the slides. I'm going to go to my email. And this is a search for Richard. Okay, and every day these Richard emails are coming in. Okay, and you can see here, here's the forecast. So all I do is click this, and then it has the forecast to head to the members area. And hopefully you guys are already on Richard's list. And if you are, you know what it's like to get these great emails, because some of his other ideas he gives out, he gives the best free analysis I've ever seen. So being on his list is profitable, even if you don't actually buy the system, to be honest. It just gets so much better when you buy the system. So that's what it looks like. You can see there's the 27th, 26th, 25th, 24th. And so once you click that, it'll take you to the course. And there's 2 courses. There's the system, which is the full course, and then there's the forecast. So first I'm going to take you into the system. And this is really cool because the way we have this set up, there's videos for everything as well as actual content, not just video. But here's all of the different parts of it. And it's really in depth, as I told you. Developing your live trading market strategy. There's a lot of detail here. There's the video and the text version. We'll go to the text version. And you just go through the course, right? And these are all the different. There's the videos and the text. There's lots of things, and there's even quizzes to help you along, right? Now, there's also a discussion. This is where you get help from Richard. So we can go ahead and click through the discussion tab, and you can see some of his answers that he puts in here. This one was a question from Bob. This was a question from Dwayne. And Richard really takes his time to explain exactly what problem you're having with your trading. He's really, really helpful. So so that's the course. The course has got a lot of material in it. And then the next part is the forecast, which I'm going to jump back to the slides here real quick just to see where I'm at. Okay, yeah, I'm going to actually jump back again. I'm going to jump back again into the forecast. The forecast is really cool because it gives his, like, here's the one for today, September 28th. And right now we have a Boeing trade that's active, a USD ZAR, a QQQ, and a dollar index. This was a loser. We have Apple, which is currently active. I'm currently up around $500 on this trade. The Euro-Australian trade was canceled, and then he's got a USDC. So he actually has 7 trades going on right now. Then there's a full summary, and every day he gives an update on what's happening with these trades. And it's just super easy to follow and super clear, and then there's a summary at the end. So every day I log into my email and I check my trade. Okay, and we can take a look when this came in. This came in really early at 3:43 a.m. So well before the market opens, I'm ready to start my day. And it takes me about 15 minutes to go in, place my trades, look at my setups, and then I'm off. Really easy to follow. And I can show you some of the trades that Richard called earlier. One of them is this Boeing that's still active. I'm not sure exactly what was the first day that he called this. It's been a while. It might have been. We're still in the Boeing, but anyhow, I actually just closed this one. I'll just go ahead and show you some of the ones that I've closed. It's really nice. It's really helpful. So we'll go ahead and present. And so here's the Boeing that I made. This was on the 31st of August, and I closed on the 19th, and that was just part one. There's a two-parter. This trade had 2 parts, but part one made me around $1,500 in profit, which is enough to do the entire course. And this actually, this would afford the entire course, so you could potentially make it on the first trade. This trade here was only one option of Boeing made that much money. Pretty nice return. Here's another one on the USD Mexican. You can see there was the entry, nice tight stop with a really big return. And here's another one on US oil that hit really big. And this is just like recent. And here's the Apple that I did just a few days ago. I'm currently up $512 on that trade. So if it hits to the target, I could make probably another $1,500 on that one as well. Again, this is the performance. Really good, solid performance. And here is the results. The average win is 17. The average loss is 629. The average month is $3,429. So the average win is 3 times bigger and only around 4 trades a month. So the special offer now is in today's webinar only. You can get both the course and the forecasts for just $1,497. $1,497. Or if you don't want the trade forecast delivered to your email, you can get the course for the webinar special of just $197. So if you want to learn the course on your own and learn how to get these trades, you still get access to Richard. It's only $197, and that's $100 off. Or if you want the trades, it's $1,497 for 1 full year of access. And as you can see with his trades, they're averaging $3,200 a month. And this is for a full year. So obviously, it's completely worth it if you have the ability to do it. Obviously, you don't want to invest money you can't afford. But if you can't afford it, I say go for it, especially because there's no risk, because we're taking all the risk with the refund. So that's the complete exponential course, the entire system to make you wildly profitable, 12 months of reports, forecasts that each contain thousands of dollars in a profit potential, and bonus member-only education. We do bonus training all the time. And if you cancel for any reason, you can keep the entire course as a thank you for giving it a try. So go ahead and get started and click the button right away. I'm going to actually post this in the chat here. I'm going to post this link right now in the chat, which is right here. There you go. And so I posted the link in the chat. Go ahead and grab it. And you got to keep in mind that there's only a limited amount of spots, and this is running out. It's a webinar only special. It will not be around very long. And just click the button right away to get started. And thank you so much. My team and I will be standing by to answer all the questions. Okay, and so the 197 course, Rick, is forever, okay? And yes, it's for beginners. So if you get the 197, it's forever. You get access to the course forever, and you have access to Richard for all your questions. The 1497 is the 1497 is for a full year of trade access. Okay. All right. Okay, Alexander says his results are great and he's saving to buy the course. Excellent. Well, just keep reading those emails. Excellent. The only issue is that I see all brokers have the forecast available to trade those instruments. Well, that is one issue, Nicholas. I actually have a couple different broker accounts. I've got an options account, a stock account, and a Forex account, so I can trade all of them. And that could be a limitation. However, if you are just options or stocks, then that you can just take those trades and still do well. Or if you're just currency, you can just take those trades. Or if you're just Forex, you can take those trades. So again, thank you so much for the good questions. So what else? Somebody was asking if I just trade Forex. No, we trade all of the markets that Richard is analyzing. One of the big benefits is that it just doesn't take a lot of my time, and it's only 4 trades a month. That's probably my favorite part of the whole thing. If you want to take the course and take some of the trades on your own, that's great too. You could probably make even more money, but for me, the return is great, and it's really exciting to be able to just do that well with just a few trades. Okay, so the link is in the chat. If you guys have any questions, any other questions, let me know. I really appreciate everybody jumping on board. I'm going to scroll through and see if I can find anything else. You're welcome. Thank you guys for the time. Someone was asking what time frame. Richard uses the larger time frames, daily 4-hour, and then he likes to drill down to around the 15-minute to really get a good understanding and find some good entries. Fran says you can't get us to answer your emails, so just send an email to our support email, and we will answer any questions you may have anytime. If you can we'll definitely look and see if you had emailed, but I happen to know for a fact that we answer all of our emails immediately because our support is really important to us. So everything that has been traded, Alberto, is based off of one contract or one lot. Okay, well, any other questions we have here? Well, the biggest email service, Rick, would be to sign up for Richard's email, which is, I'll pull up that link for you for Richard's course. You can actually get a free ebook and get on his email list if you're not already on it. You guys can sign up here. I'll put this up. This is actually a free one. Well, great. The short-term trade signal service is part of this offer, Dylan. You can get the short-term signals, which is it's the $1,500 package. Jordan, I don't really know how many members we have right now. There's quite a few, but I don't really know the exact number, so I can't really estimate. The time frame, you can trade the exponential systems course in any time frame. No, that it works in any time frame. That's absolutely true. The market patterns will repeat themselves on many time frames. It's just like we said when it was the buyers and the sellers. You find whoever's winning those battles, and it can happen on a lower time frame and on a higher time frame. Okay, well, yeah, I'm probably around 100, but I honestly don't know for sure. And we'll have to, Andre says, I'm only a Forex trader. If we get the full program and we get only the Forex traders or the other markets, well, you'll get the complete course, which you always will have. You'll get the complete signals, Andre. We will always include all of the trades. At some point, we may break it down into different markets, but right now, Richard is trading quite a few different markets, so he's including them all. But I will tell you that there's always a good number of currency trades mixed in. He's always got currency trades mixed in with futures trades and additionally the stock trades. Now, one other thing is that a lot of the currency platforms will also allow you to trade futures like gold and oil. Okay, well, I actually don't know, Jordan. I'm not involved in that part of the operation, so I don't know. It's not a secret, though. Nicholas, we just launched recently. The reason that we launched was because I met Richard in 2017, and I was looking at his success, and he was sharing with me his system, and I was like, okay, well, we should probably work on launching this course. And so he personally did really well in 2017, but the EPS course doesn't have results from then. Right now, there are no indicators that are needed for the course, and you can trade with any platform. We actually recommend TradingView, which is a web-based chart system, and it's web-based because it just makes it easier, and you can also get access to all of you can get stocks, you can get futures, forex, and crypto. Oh, and Richard does do a couple crypto trades as well. If you guys are interested in crypto, he's done pretty well on crypto. Lorraine, I haven't actually looked at what the performance is for just the currency trades, but you could actually look at our graph on our website and take a look and try to figure that out. It's definitely a very good win rate, very similar to what the total package is. Great, John, how did you like it? And we've actually just recently upgraded into a new platform in Thinkific, so it's actually much nicer now. Yes, TradingView is free, Lorraine. And just the chat has scrolled down, so if you need the link, I'll just post it here again. Okay, guys. Anybody else have any questions? Yeah, there is a paid version and as well as a free version. I actually only use the free version, and it's fine for me. Because yeah, it's really works good with just the free version. But yeah, that's a good thing to mention. Okay, well, any other questions? Last call for questions. Well, Nicholas, to be completely honest, if we did a Forex only, we'd probably keep the price the same because we just offer more trades that were currency trading. We'd probably just focus mainly on currency trades, but give you more of them so that you can make greater returns. We don't want to offer a product that isn't going to give you the full opportunity to have the highest amount of returns. All right. Well, that's one more call here for questions. Any other questions? And for those of you that signed up, we appreciate it. Thank you for taking advantage of this special webinar special. All right. Since there's any questions at this time, I'm going to go ahead and close it out. But thank you so much for being in on this training today. I hope you enjoyed it.